What's up, bro?
What's up? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Beautiful.
All right, we're gonna let in Roberto or Robert. I think he goes by Rob, but his actual we're gonna ask him right now. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
So
What up?
you,
How you doing, man?
I'm
you're
good, and you?
funny. I didn't do this on purpose. This is mad corny, but I'm actually wearing your dad's shirt, and it's not even on purpose. I just realized I had his shirt on. I'm talking to you. It's kind of corny, but whatever. So your birth name is not Roberto, right? It's
Alcibiade.
That's a dope name. What made you go with Roberto instead of that?
No, I actually go by Robert. I don't do the Roberto.
Oh, right. But what made you go with Rob instead of your actual birth name?
Well, my mom's been calling me Robert my whole life because there was a big issue when my mom and my dad was doing my birth certificate. My mom wanted to name me Robert. My dad wanted to name me Alcibiades, so it was a back and forth thing. It was a whole big mess. So I go
Okay.
by Robert.
Okay. Okay. And you grew up in Miami, or no, in Florida.
I did half my time in Miami, and then I moved up to New York.
Oh, that's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
when I
Where?
was yeah, yeah, when I was 13, I moved up to New York, upstate New York,
What part?
Schenectady.
Oh, okay. Okay.
hmm
So, where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school down here. I did my ninth grade in Miami Coral Park High School, and then I went up to Schenectady and I did my other 2 years there in Schenectady High School.
Okay. Okay. So how old were you when you first started actually boxing?
So when I moved down from New York, I got into the amateurs when I was 25.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was 25, I got the required state fights that I needed so I can go pro, and that's what I did.
How many fights did it require you to go pro?
Only five.
See, this is something that the viewers need to know. Like, not I don't know. Each state is different, right, Jeremy? Do you know like how many? How's it work in California?
Yeah, shoot, I couldn't even tell you, but you had I don't even think you have to become an amateur to turn pro, but I could be wrong. 'Cause,
Yeah,
Hmm.
every state is different. Like here in Florida, you only need a mandatory five amateur fights.
Okay.
That's why there's a lot of people that go to other countries and turn pro in other countries because
Uh
you
huh.
don't need amateur background in other countries. You go turn pro there and then come back over here and continue that.
Hmm.
that's
Yeah, I didn't
Mhm. You
know.
need a mandatory
I
five
didn't know.
amateur fights.
I didn't know what the rules were. I think in New York, I don't think you have to have any amateur fights, but I'm not really sure.
yeah. So tell me
So
what? How did you how did you start into your professional career? Like everybody else, do got a bunch of picked fights? I mean, how did it look for you?
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you.
I
Repeat
said,
that.
how did you how did you end up getting into your pro career? Was it like something you automatically was like, dude, I got to be a pro? My dad was a pro. Your dad's one of the greatest ever. So I mean, jumping in those shoes, did it seem a little hard for you?
I mean, of course, there's always going to be pressure when you got, a huge name like that behind in boxing. But, it's like I tell everybody else, my dad did his thing already. Now I'm doing my thing, paving my own way, my own name, my own style. I'm letting my dad's legacy live, but I'm continuing through mine, building my own legacy, you know. So I really feel it's like half and half with the pressure.
right. Um, did you grow up with your dad? Like, were you in the same house?
No, no, I grew up with my mom's side of the family. I see my dad here and there. He was always on the move. You know what I mean? So it was a whole big mixed up with that as well. So
Oh, okay. So, do you guys
yeah.
have a good? Do you guys have a good relationship now?
Not really. We talk like here and there, but it is what it is.
No, I.
What what weight are you fighting at?
147.
47. Wow,
Yeah,
it's a heavy division right now.
it is. It's hot right now.
Yeah, it's a crazy division, man. So you're 9-2, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And you turned pro at what, 29?
29. Yep.
So how old are you now?
I'm 33 now.
33. Okay. And one thing I saw, and then maybe I'm wrong, correct me, but you're a switch hitter. You go left, you go southpaw, you go conventional, right?
Right, I do both.
That's was it always like that?
No, it wasn't. I just decided to switch one time, and I felt comfortable doing it. So then I just been fighting switch hitter ever since.
Shit.
Yes,
Is there a side that you feel better on?
yeah, my southpaw.
Oh,
Like if I wanna be skillful and pick my punches and cut all my angles and do everything, I stay as the southpaw.
okay.
You know, if I want to hurry up and get the fight over with, be aggressive, relentless, combinations, everything, I go to my orthodox side.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So is there do you have a goal set for yourself as a pro? Like is there something a world title? What's the goal?
Of course, that's the goal. You know, unfortunately, my last fight that I ended up losing in Vegas because, I mean, I was prepared for the fight. The only thing is the altitude. You know, I completely forgot about the altitude. My coaches did too. So in that fight, I started gas. I couldn't breathe in the fight. From the third round on, I couldn't breathe no more. So that it hindered me from doing what I needed to do.
Shit.
Yeah, that's how I have that second loss. But my main goal is still rack up all these fights, get in the rankings, win a title down the line, and that's my goal.
Were you considered for that? They just did that Sons of Legends thing. Did they hit you up about that?
Yeah, that was my managers. They had a card already.
Right. Yeah, your manager. Right. So how come you didn't do it?
Do what?
Did you do the Son of Legends? No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's where
Oh,
where I lost. Right.
My bad. Yeah, that's right. And Rockman, he was on that, right?
Rodman, yeah, Kenzie Morrison.
Kenzie Morrison, yep.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
Yeah, that was the show where a couple of lost that weren't supposed to lose.
Right. Yeah, I think but that's the game. And it's interesting. It's something that you learn about yourself and you learn about the game. When you go up in higher altitude, it drains you. You got to get
completely
right.
I don't ever put excuses for none of my fights, but that elevation, man, that's something else.
It's no joke.
That elevation is. I was there. I was only in Vegas 2 days before my fight. I wasn't there a week and a half, nothing like that. So I couldn't really get, adjusted to that altitude, and I didn't even think about it. My coaches didn't think about it because we were so prepared down here. But once that bell run and I'm started feeling it in the third round, I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Why am I breathing like this? I can't breathe. I'm not letting my hands go. I like to let my hands go. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, that wasn't happening.
I'll tell you right now, man. I'm from New York City. You sound like you're from New York City. I like it. You sound a lot like you're from New York City.
Yeah, that's like my home, man. I was born here in Miami, but I'm a New York man. I adopted New York. New York adopted me, man. That's where I'm from. Man.
So your father's Panamanian. What's your mother's ethnicity?
She's Cuban.
Oh, okay. And so obviously, I assume you speak Spanish.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, is your mother from Cuba or she's American?
No, she's from Cuba. She just moved down here when she was like 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's been out here for a long time now.
Do you have any siblings, same mother, same father siblings?
I got not same mother, same father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like kids.
Huh?
Whose kids are those? Marco, those yours?
No, that's his.
Oh. The ones that you hear here?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are mine.
How many kids do you have?
I got 2 stepdaughters and 3 of my own.
Damn. It's a full house.
Yeah, 4.
I got 5. Well,
yeah.
I got 2 boys and 3 girls.
Wow, I got 4 boys and 1 girl.
Oh man, so you already know what it is.
I got a boy and a girl, and I am done. Man, I can't believe you guys. Anybody wants to have more than 2 children is insane to me. I can't even. Fuck that.
I'm just glad they're all above. You gotta go out there. Closed door. You know, the youngest one is 2 years old. That's really the only one that, he's a problem. You know, I gotta chase him down with a bat. That's how bad it is. You know, Every, ev- everybody else is a little older, so we get a little bit off. We ain't really got to chase them around so much.
Right, right.
Makes sense.
So when you were growing up, did you know, like seeing your dad fight or whatever, did you know you wanted to be a boxer, or when did that kick in that you realized you wanted to be a fighter?
Now, I always wanted to be a fighter, man. You know, I watching my dad fight, that motivated me to fight. Plus the area in Miami that I lived in, the area that I lived in New York. I always had to fight regardless.
So you got into a lot of fights growing up?
Oh yeah, completely.
Do you
Completely.
think do you think people targeted you because of who your father was, or no?
No, no, no. It wasn't even because of none of that. It was just
Living in
the
New York.
areas. It was just the area that I lived in. It was just bad.
Yeah,
You
I can
know,
imagine. New York is bad.
especially upstate.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, upstate New York in the city, they really don't really like each other like that. There's always a competition like that. So guys is always trying to go head on upstate. So they're trying to up there. They're trying to prove who's big dog, who's not. But that's the life up there, man.
What do you got planned next? What are you coming off of? You got this, you got that. What really would you want to see happen next?
Well, I got two fights coming up now. I got a fight in Albuquerque, New Mexico, August 20th.
Okay.
And then I'm fighting in Atlantic City 2 weeks later
Wow.
for the junior NABF WBC title.
Oh,
Yeah, so I can get
Two
myself in a huh?
2 belts?
nah, it's
No,
called.
one belt.
It's
One
called.
belt.
Yeah, that's just what it's called.
That one belt is called the junior WBC NABF title.
Jeremy, how many of those kind of belts did you have? Like the non-major ones? You had a
Oh,
bunch, right?
6, 8. I don't know. I would give them away. I don't know what's wrong with this shit.
So let me ask you a couple things, Rob, that we ask everybody on our show. First, and you can exclude your father if you want, but who are your top 5 greatest of all time?
Man, I don't know. It's just so many out there, man. Look, James Toney is one of them.
Okay.
I got a really old school fighter, Nicolino Nuche. You guys know who that is?
And I don't.
Yeah, he's a real old school fighter, man.
Okay.
That's 2. You got Miguel Cotto out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't forget about him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys. You got Tyson, you got Ali, all the greats. You got Lennox Lewis. You got all the greats out there.
Okay.
I really don't have a set 5. I just like the old era fighters.
So who inspired you to fight? Like what fighters inspired you?
Like I told you, watching my dad fight, I just like to fight growing up, and then watching my dad fight, watching James Toney fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, when I was younger, I just watched those guys. I'm like, man, that's what I want to do.
Has your dad given you tips with fighting, or he doesn't really get involved?
Nah, he don't get involved. Even when my older brother fought and my sister fought, he never got involved either.
Why? Like, why not? Do you know?
That's something I don't know why. I guess from what my brother told me, he didn't want to see his children, get into boxing with all the politics and the getting hurt and the cutting weight and all the. He didn't want to deal with that for them because he already been through that.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense. I didn't push any of my children to fight either, and none of them fight. They all know how to fight, but they don't fight.
Right.
It's a crazy business, right, Jeremy?
It's the most crookedest, unsatisfactory, and fucking evil shit ever.
Yeah, complete. That's why I see with me, I could have had more fights now, but being that I was doing everything on my own at the beginning of my career, because I didn't trust promoters, I didn't trust matchmakers, because I knew how the game worked. For my first fight, I learned already. So that opened my eyes to how to deal with promoters, how to deal with matchmakers. Not everybody's your friend in boxing, especially if you're alone. You're like a wounded target in the water, and then all them sharks just gonna come get you.
Not especially, dude. when you're alone in the boxing game, you are fucking alone.
Yeah.
Your manager though, I mean, Rob, I don't know him that well, but he seems like a good like a straight dude.
Nah, they great people. There's two
Yeah,
of them. There's Mike and Joe. You know, they
yeah, yo,
awesome guys. You know,
yeah,
me and them, we had like we really sat down and really spoke and talked, and you can always tell the genuine and sincerely in somebody's eyes when you
right,
speak to them. You know what I mean? So, because I don't never do that. You know, I've ran through like managers before, cut them off completely because I know what they're expecting. Like, oh shit, Duran Jr. or we're gonna. All they see is money sign.
right,
You know, they're not invested in me, but they're invested in the money they can make out of me.
right.
Yeah.
You know, with Joe and Mike, it was completely different, man. It goes deeper than that.
So Jeremy, his manager also manages Hassim Jr., also manages Tommy Morrison's son, and who else am I missing?
Um, Gerald McCullen's son.
Wow.
Yes, gee, we interviewed him as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
that,
What's his deal with the Sons of?
Say again.
What's his deal with the Sons of?
your manager. Like, why is he
Oh,
choosing?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to help us get ahead, with the boxing game, or maybe he just like the Sons of Legend. I don't know. That's something we got to sit down and talk about.
It's and for you, it's very difficult to be as good as one's dad, especially when your dad's a legend like Ray
Right.
Leonard, Muhammad Ali. I mean, it is so hard for you to get your own energy, your own space, man. So
Yeah,
I
most definitely.
man,
Yeah,
pushing, and your dad was a fucking beast, bro.
you know,
Yeah,
And
I appreciate that.
you
But
you
no, I
look.
know I get that all the time.
Yeah,
You know, because a lot of people is, a lot of my dad's fans, all the real Duran fans, man, they see me and they want to see my dad fight.
exactly,
You know what I mean? They
Or
want to see my dad 30 years ago. They want to see him through me and do exactly what my dad did. You
right.
know what I mean? So they expect that.
yeah,
You
they expect it, but that's not what they're gonna get. They're gonna get you,
Exactly.
and
and
you
you
and you have your own unique style, your own special blend of punches you throw. Maybe you got a couple of you got from your dad, but at the end of the day, you are the fighter that they're looking at, not your father.
Exactly.
and you
Exactly.
you have a different. You're a little more stocky than your father was, right? You have a different build
Right. Right.
and your style. So how would you describe your style? You a boxer puncher? You a puncher? What are you?
A boxer brawler, boxer puncher.
Ooh, shit.
So you
You know,
prefer? So you like getting in there in the phone booth and just going at it?
I can do no. I don't like doing. I like to see what I do is I like to box aggressively but smart though. You
Okay.
know, I don't just get in there and Mexican style of boxing and just go punch for punch. That's not what I
Right,
do.
right.
I like to use my jab. I like to set up feints. I like to use my angles. I like, to counter punch combination.
Uh
And
huh.
then once I get them against the rope, is everything is going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could punch. I've seen some clips, and you could punch.
I appreciate that.
Okay. So
It's
so
just it's about being a smart boxer. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
yeah,
It's boxing smart.
yeah, also, but smart is also being able to decipher what you got to do when you're gonna do it, man. Because
Exactly.
boxing
Exactly.
tough is a tough bitch, man. And what might work for you this time might not work for you that time. The next time,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
you got to be a chameleon in this. You got to be able to adapt and change and pick it up and put it down and do all these other things that people don't realize, man. Like, but athletes do because they know even if they're hitting a baseball, it's not the same pitch every time. It's
Exactly.
different. So for us as fighters, we look at situations and deal with it right there on the spot.
I mean,
And so
so you started a little late. So do you have in your mind how long you want to go until you stop, like an age, or no?
No, I don't have an age, man.
Because
I'm gonna let my body dictate that
I was
because
gonna say, since you started late, you probably left less mileage on you, right?
exactly, because you got those guys that have these 100, 200, 300 amateur fights from young.
Like Jeremy.
So they're tearing. Yeah, exactly. So you're tearing your body, you're putting your body through all that training, through all that abuse, through all that beat down. So once you get to a certain age, your body already starts slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't get to do all that. I did 5 and went straight into the pros. And then on top of that, is how disciplined I stay with my training, with my diet, with my sleep. All that plays a part. My vitamins and all that.
What fight number you think you need to have to be ready for the world title?
Man, I don't know, to be honest with you, man. It's just whenever the blessing, the opportunity is given to me, I'll take it.
Okay.
Could be a year from now, could be 2 years from now, could be 6 months from now. Who knows?
Who do you, if you could fight anybody right now, who would it be?
I wouldn't fight nobody right now. I stay how I am in my own lane, building my career up till I get to that level.
Build your record up to, when you get 22-2, you know what I mean? That's when you're gonna be like, well, I could probably get that guy, and I can probably
exactly. Right now,
hate on this guy, but I get his ass and give me a year. That's
exactly. I got my car on cruise control right now.
Perfecto de todo eso.
You know what I mean? You got a lot of guys with lesser fights than me or halfway with the fights like me and already, calling out big names. I'm like, man, you got to humble yourself, man.
Yeah,
you're not as experienced as those guys,
Yeah, have you get deep water, dude, you have no way to swim out? That's fucking...
No, of course not. At the end of the day, they think they doing something by calling people out. They don't need to be calling out. The only thing that they're getting is a quick hype publicity stunt. But let's say one of these guys is calling a big name out, and the guy's like, all right, I'll accept. And then now you get into this fight. Now you're in deep waters.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're in trouble.
You with a bunch of sharks in the water too, bro.
You know what I mean? Now you're in trouble now. Because you're not experienced enough. You haven't fought nobody really to be calling out the people that's holding actual titles, these champions. You're not ready to fight nobody up there.
Yeah, the game now is so inundated with a bunch of bullshit ass fighters that
I agree.
They got 8-0, 12-0, 15-2. Oh, I'm gonna take Canelo. Canelo's gonna beat the fucking brakes off you. What are you talking about?
Man, listen.
Is there anybody, Rob, that you've sparred with, like that's somebody we would know that you learned a lot from?
I'm not too sure. Where I train at right now, there's a bunch of good Cuban fighters that have had an extensive amateur background that are pros now. I don't know if you guys know Pete Dobson.
No.
Yep.
He's from the Bronx, Peter Dobson.
Oh, no. I thought you meant the actor. I'm tripping.
No, Pete Dobson. He's a welterweight as well. We got into sparring. Harold Carderon. You ever heard of Harold Carderon? He's also another welterweight.
Yes.
Yeah, him. I had sparring with him. I had sparring with Xander. When we used to be in training. Yeah, with Xander a long time ago.
Okay.
We used to train. We used to train together. Have the same coach and everything. Back in the beginning of my career.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. That's real cool. And do you see that a lot of fighters reach out to you, known fighters, because of the family you come from, and give you love, or no?
No, there's a lot of fighters. I get fighters from MMA, from bare knuckle that I know through social media. All a bunch of good guys, man. We're like, yo, Rob, whenever we.
What do you think about that bare knuckle boxing fighting?
Hey, listen, man. To each his own,
I get that, but that shit seems like it fucking hurts.
I mean, it's like getting in a street fight.
Yeah, but you're all amped up, and a street fight happens in a split second. Boom, 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 fight. But
it's like getting in a street fight. I don't knock it. I like it.
Really?
I actually thought about doing a bare knuckle fight or two.
Really?
Yeah, I actually thought about it.
I mean, they say that the gloves, even though people think the gloves are more padding, that's more concussive because you're getting hit with more weight. Like even in sparring, think about when you're sparring. I feel like in sparring, those 18, 20 ounces, like feel like
Yeah,
brick.
yeah, because of the cushion bouncing your head off of
Yeah,
the
but
glove.
people,
That does damage. People don't
yes,
understand that.
thank you. More damage than the 8 ounces do.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, in bare knuckle, you don't have no glove on your hand.
it's bare knuckle. You got something around your wrist.
Straight fist.
Well,
You know,
Jeremy,
you got padding that goes above about an inch above
Yeah,
your knuckle.
Jeremy, you
That's
did
it.
that, right? When you did the MMA, those are kind of the gloves you used, right?
yeah, but
No, not for bare knuckle though.
grabbing
Oh.
grabbing people and doing jujitsu and blah blah blah. Bare knuckles seems so.
So wait, what
fucking-
does bare knuckle have? It has hand wrap or nothing?
No,
It has a hand wrap, but it doesn't cover your knuckles. It goes about an inch past your knuckles.
So like,
it's
Yeah,
bare.
about there.
what's the point of the hand wrap? Just to keep your wrist from not?
Yeah, from getting your thumb and your wrist, broken.
Yeah, but you're doing bare not like the
Yeah.
shit.
Right. Well, Paul,
This is this is
Paulie Malignaggi had a bare knuckle, right? He fought some. Do you remember that?
yeah. He said I remember he talked about that.
Yeah.
Well, he win.
Did you remember Rob? He fought Paulie Malignaggi. Fought some dude.
Shit, I don't even remember that happening, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
it was like 3 months ago, maybe 6 months ago.
Nah. It was like a few. It was before COVID, I think.
Oh, right. You know that fucking year goes so quick, man. I was tripping.
And he did that, and he said the same thing. He's like, "Wasn't that bad?" He's like, "The difference, I think, with bare knuckle is you're gonna get all mincemeat in your face. You're gonna get cut
Oh,
easier."
yeah. That's a given. If you get caught with solid punches, you're gonna look like you got stung by 100 bees in your face. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're gonna look like.
I would, man. I'm like, man, please look. Don't hit me with your bare knuckles, please. I don't want nobody hitting me with no fucking bare knuckles.
One of my mans, he's like, yo, Rob, man, leave that bare knuckle shit alone. That's for like under the barrel type of guys.
I agree, man. I wouldn't fuck with that.
Those are.
Especially if you're trying to build, a career and you're trying to, but each his own.
I tell you, look, boxing doesn't hurt. Like I get punched with a glove on, no problem. Somebody punch me with a bare fist, god damn. I'm like,
Yeah. You're gonna feel that.
Are you Rob? Are you a fan of boxing? Like current boxing? Do you watch all the fighters?
I don't watch all the fighters, man. Not all of them.
So do you know who everybody is, or just sort of?
No, I know who's who. Like my favorite fighter this era is Lomachenko.
Really?
That's my number one.
Okay.
Win, lose, or draw. That's my man's. That's who I like this era.
Isn't Tiafimo out there by you?
He's actually in Philly right now. My trainer's training him now in Philadelphia.
who's your
Jorge Rubio.
Jorge Rubio?
Yeah, he trained Amir Khan back in the day, Guillermo Rigondeaux back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He trained Teofimo Lopez for like his last fight or 2-3 fights before that.
¿Dónde eres el maestro?
Huh?
¿Dónde eres el maestro?
He's speaking Spanish now. He likes doing that randomly just to confuse me.
I'm talking to him.
Where's my trainer? Where's my trainer from?
Oh yeah.
He's Cuban. He's from Cuba.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you think Cuban trainers like have to have it because normally in Cuba they're doing 3 rounds, but you're going longer distance. You think they got to learn that game plan, or has it's been too long? So now everybody's got the kind of same thing.
You talking about the Cuban amateurs that come and turn pro?
I'm saying Cuban trainers, there's no pro in Cuba, so everybody's fighting just 3s or 5 or 2-minute 5s. You know what I mean?
Right, in Cuba.
Yeah, in Cuba. So when they step into the professional rankings, they start training guys for more rounds. I think. What does the mindset look like at that? Because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what because they're used to doing amateur, and now the professional game is so much more evolved and different. So I wonder how that translated to your training.
So the deal with my trainer is he's been here in Florida for a long time now. You know what I mean? And his style of training has always been a professional style of training, not that amateur training. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everything he does is strictly professional training. And then one thing with the Cuban style is that every Cuban trainer I know and then I've seen, they all have that defense, counter punching style of boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the move, it's the hit, not get hit, defense, counter punch, aggressive move punch. You know, they all have that similar style.
It makes sense. Yeah, well, I mean, how do you think the Cuban amateurs have been doing lately? I don't know. I'm not in the amateur game anymore.
I
But
don't know. I don't really watch too much amateurs, but like the highlights that have seen, you know, the Cuban fighters been coming up on top.
oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been coming out on top. They've been winning. Because I'm telling you, man, they have that slick. They have that slick boxing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did I fight any? Fuck, did I fight some Cubans? I did. I forgot that Roberto Bellotto. I think I fought him years ago. Slick, but he didn't punch too hard. But he was fucking fast as shit.
Yeah,
Um,
them boys is fast and slick, man. They can move.
who do you
Yeah.
who do you think right now in your division are the best fighters, or is the best fighter? Like, okay, let me start this: Spence or Crawford? Who do you got?
Crawford wins.
I kind of agree with you, but why? Why do you think that?
He's just an all-rounded fighter. He can do both stance. You know, I think he hits harder than Spence. He's a lot smarter than Spence, and when it comes into boxing, he's a lot more aggressive. He throws more. He throws more combination punches than Spence does. If you've seen the last fight with Spence and Ugas, Ugas had him half of the fight.
Yeah, he
You
did.
know, and Ugas is not really that much of a mobile fighter. You know, he's really stationary, and he was really tagging Spence. So now you look at Crawford. You know, Crawford is aggressive. He's strong, combination fighter. He switches stance. He can do it all.
Right.
You know, so when people ask me that, I'm like, nah, Crawford wins that fight.
So do you put Crawford as the best welter right now?
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
he's number one. He's number one welterweight.
well, so who are the other two that you would say behind him?
Behind him will come, you know, Earl Spence Jr. That's a fact. And then to put somebody in number three, you know, there's a lot of dudes that, man, I would say he's an upcoming fighter right now.
I know who
Jerron
you.
Ennis.
Yup, I knew you were gonna say that. Absolutely, he's a monster.
Yeah, he's coming up now. So you know he's number three.
Man, we might be seeing Boots versus Duran in a couple years. What do you think?
Ah,
Possible.
Possible, yeah. So who do you think is the best pound for pound fighter in boxing right now?
Man, that's kind of hard. Because
What's that?
you got a whole bunch of divisions up there, man. And you got a lot of great fighters, you know, in the 154 division, in the 160 division. You know, you got a lot of great fighters out there. See, like, he just moved up to heavyweight. He beat Anthony Joshua. What's his name? Usyk.
Usyk, yeah.
Usyk, yeah.
It's another fight. He's another monster. Southpaw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo, he's great.
Ugh.
Slick. Strong.
Do you think he's gonna be? Do you think Joshua has a shot of beating him in the rematch?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I mean,
so.
this is not a repeat of Andy Ruiz and Joshua 1 and 2. You know, we're talking about Usyk. You know what I mean? And Usyk, because he's not gonna let up. He made sure he won that first fight. This second fight, he knows Joshua's coming to get back his belt. So
Did you see the press conference? Usyk looks. I think what he's going through back in Ukraine right now got him. He's not joking around. He's just looks angry.
yeah, man. I mean, that's his country.
Yeah, like because usually he jokes around. He's playful.
Yeah. He's not mentally. He's 1000% focused.
Yeah, he has.
Plus, you know, he's feeling some way about what's going on right now with Ukraine. You know, with his country, his countrymen. You know, it's a lot of issues there, man. But he's bringing all that into the ring with him. You know,
Yeah,
so he's playing for games.
Sometimes that gets very heavy, though. You know what I mean?
How often have you done that, Jeremy?
Man, not too many, not too many times when people would keep shit away from me. But this is his country. This is his fucking country. His grandmother, his ancestors. They're all everybody. Like that's
family,
really
friends, all types of everybody.
everybody. It touches everybody, and family in America that had family in Ukraine is fire. It's it's so it's so freaking tough for him. Man.
You can use that energy two ways. Either it's gonna eat you up, or you're gonna use it
to
get ahead. To get ahead.
I agree, man.
Do you think Tyson Fury is going to come back, or you think he's done?
Probably something for like exhibition fights.
And I think that's robbing us a little because he mentioned he's going to fight some MMA guy. I feel like he's at the peak of his career. I feel like he could possibly be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time if he just had some more fights to show it. And instead, we're not going to get to see it. And that's,
right.
And I get it. He wants to retire on top, but as boxing fans,
he's still got a lot of steam to go though.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you as well. I'm like, I don't think he should retire now. He's still got a lot to go. He's still got a lot in the gas tank.
He has a lot, and who could beat him? I mean, I don't see any heavyweight beating him.
Well,
Anthony Joshua definitely not beating him.
No, Usyk probably.
Usyk
not.
maybe.
You think?
Yeah.
I think Usyk can probably do something with it there. I think so.
That's a big old son of a bitch.
I think
they're both slick fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, slick and powerful.
Slick fighters, and one's a southpaw.
Well, I will say people don't realize Usyk's almost 6'3", so he's not 6'9", but he's not short.
Right.
At 6'3" against 6'9" is not big.
Right. But he made Joshua, who's 6'6", look like nothing.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
but then again, Joshua. Joshua's like a stiff fighter, man. He's like stiff. He doesn't move too much. So when he fights somebody like Usyk, when he fought somebody like Andy, he lost the first fight to Andy because Andy's big boy.
Yeah.
But Andy moves though. For a big guy, he moves and he throws hands.
Yeah. No, he has some. What do you see happening with him and King Kong?
I don't know, man. I like Ortiz, man. I like both of them. But if Ortiz doesn't come to fight, Andy's gonna run through him.
Besides your pops, have there been any other Panamanian fighters like world champions? That I can't think of.
To be honest with you, I don't. Like I've searched, I haven't found any. To be honest.
Nothing.
I don't know. They might be. I don't know. I never seen or heard anybody else other than my pops.
Jeremy, you know of any Panamanian fighters? No, right?
Not at all, man. A couple Panamanian basketball players I know, but that's it.
Isn't Trout? Remember the guy that used to fight Trout? What was his first name?
Austin Trout.
Welterweight, right?
Yeah, I thought he was a Black American.
Southpaw. Wasn't he Panamanian? He's black. Panamanian. Wasn't he Panamanian?
Was he? I don't know. I thought he was American.
I think he was Panamanian. Austin Trout. That was his name, right?
Yeah, that's his name, but I thought he was like from Texas or some shit.
I think he was Panamanian. I gotta double check that.
So who do you see one of the most stacked divisions as well is about 130 to 140? All Tank, Garcia, all these guys, Pitbull. Who do you think is the best of all those guys? Like the class right below you, basically.
Let me see. So 135 lightweight.
Yeah, 135, 130, even 140. Josh Taylor, Tiafimo, all those dudes.
Josh Taylor's a beast, man. You can't sleep on Josh Taylor at 140.
Most people from when I talk about this think Tank is the cream of the crop, or Haney.
Now you have to give credit when credit is due. At 135 lightweight, you got Haney, you got Tank, you have
Loma, right?
You have Loma, exactly.
Shakur
Stevenson, there you go. You got all these guys are great fighters. They're all trying to battle for that number one spot for lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically those guys right there. You really can't pick who's the best one.
No, you can't. I mean, a Tank to me probably stands out just because. But the thing with Tank is weird. He'll lose a lot of his fights, losing up until he catches somebody, but he still catches them, and he does it every time.
Right.
So at what point, and when he fought Barrios, right, who was like 5'11".
Yeah, taller than, yeah, completely. Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, because Tank's only like, how tall is Tank? 5'4". I mean, he's short.
It's like 5, yeah, about 5'4", 5'5".
So
Short.
I was. That's a huge distance. Speaking of height, you got a guy in your weight division who I cannot believe how tall he is. The Towering Inferno. What the fuck's his name?
No, Fondora.
Him.
No, but he don't fight 47. He fights 54.
Oh, but Jeremy, this dude is 6'6".
Really skinny.
154, 6'6".
Tommy Hearns.
Nah, Tommy Hearns was not 6'6".
No,
Yeah.
Tommy, but same look.
Tommy was like 6'6", flat 6'1".
But you know what? Tommy Hearns, well, we interviewed him. I think he told us he's 6'1". I think you're right. But Tommy Hearns looked a little tall. This guy looks like
Slinky and tall.
And he could punch, though.
Well, yeah, tall guys can punch. That's not a problem. They got the leverage.
Not all of them, right?
Yes, they can punch. They have the leverage.
We have to be able to use the leverage. What I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to get in distance. Well, you have to know how to keep your distance to get off your punches.
There's a whole lot of shit that goes into that, but most tall guys can crack. Oscar, for his weight division, that little son bitch at 25 was tall, and he was like 5'11", 6 foot, whatever, for 5'9", 10. That little bastard could crack.
Yeah.
Who was it, Fondora? Who was it that he fought again?
Lubin. Erickson Lubin.
Lubin. You see his face after the fight? Damn.
Shit out. And Lubin dropped him, though, at one point. Remember that?
Yeah, he did. With a body shot. Yeah.
I don't think it was body. I think he started with the body and then tapped him up here.
Oh, and that's when he went down?
Yep, he went down. He was tired, and
And his face after that fight was fucked up.
Yeah, it was a thing where like people making memes of it all over the internet. It was
it's like somebody put a wasp nest in his face. Bad, man.
Bad. My phone is about to die, guys. So
yeah, let's wrap it up. Hey, Rob, man, it was really good talking to you. And
no, man, my apologies from before it took this long, man.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. We want to talk to you again after your next victory.
Most definitely. You got it, champ. Thank you for having me, guys.
Peace.
Peace.